Here you have it. They're talking about these re-education camps. Once again, it's not just that lady I showed in the last video. It's a plethora, if I could say that. It's a plethora of Edomites, pushing for re-education camps. Here we go. All right, here we go. Revelations 2:10 comes to mind. I read that last video. Some of us will be thrown into prisons, all right? And a re-education camp is nothing but a prison. Some of them call them detention centers, that's a prison too. A FEMA camp, prison. The labor camp is a prison where they carry out extreme tortures and murder. All right? But here you have it. They're talking about, they're pushing for re-education. As a matter of fact, I still got that definition up.
Students at Harvard now want to set up kind of re-education camps and moral rehabilitation centers and institutions for vetting people who had the chutzpah to work in the Trump administration.
And the question is, how are we going to really almost deprogram these people who have signed up for the cult of Trump?
Experts say they see cult-like behavior.
We have, there are millions of Americans, almost all white, almost all Republicans, who somehow need to be deprogrammed. It's as if they
So you got these two niggas up there talking about some almost all white, almost, and Esau allows that to happen because the agenda is to get niggas to say, yeah, throw them white supremacists in the re-education camp, throw them in the prisons. That's what they need to be. They need to be re-educated and not knowing what the hell they talking about. They don't know in these re-education camps, they're going to be putting you to death. And this is just something so they can get the legislation or whatever you call it signed off, get the military to start carrying out these acts, and then they can carry out the New World Order agenda, which is get the population down or under 500 million and also start microchipping everybody. All right? So here you have it, like the elder apostle Gabar was saying, be as wise as a serpent. And that serpent, when you look that up, when you start getting into the word or the serpent, the dragon, or whatever, we see through stuff very easy. We see through the bullshit that Esau's trying to feed you or feed us. So we're as wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. The rest of these niggas out here, even some of these camps, they can't see through this, man. All right, here you have it. The nigga woman, of course, and I mean this looked like a Jake, man, but a lot of them be having so-called white fathers. But up here talking about most of them so-called white. This right here is fueling the whole racist agenda, which they using it for their benefit. This is gonna have Jake say what? Like the Black Lives Matter, like, yeah, throw them white supremacist groups and these so-called patriots into these camps. Throw them and re-educate them. They don't know what the hell they even talking about. Before you know it, they gonna get thrown in a damn re-education camp. Or if they don't go follow every thing that they say, they get thrown up in there. which Esau's see, which Esau's the damn devil, because it's either you take the Max, you lay down with Maxine and that kill you, or you disobey and we throw you up in one of these things and we kill you. So really, there's truly no way out. All right.
They're members of a cult, the Trumpist cult, and who have to be deprogrammed.
Because they've been brainwashed, Joy. I really believe that they have been brainwashed by this misinformation campaign. So how do you de-radicalize these people? Joining us now is Stephen Hassan. He's a mental health professional who has been helping deprogram people out of cults for decades. He's also the author of The Cult of Trump. There are millions of people who believe that the election was rigged. How do you begin to deprogram them?
Once we educate them, we coach them on how to interact and empower the person to start thinking for themselves.
I think a lot of people are going to have to be deprogrammed. We had a program addressing white supremacists. That we had programs, federal programs, that went towards funding organizations like these that de-radicalize people. And President Trump pulled the plug on federal funding for some of these programs. And so one thing that we know is that we have to get that funding right back up, and we probably need to double, triple, quadruple, or increase funding for these de-radicalization programs.
We can look to history, though. What ultimately breaks that power structure in the South is enforcement, right? There has to be consequences.
David Atkins is a DNC member, as you said. He's also the leader of the California Democrats, and he is suggesting that over half our country needs to be reprogrammed. Not just 75 million people that voted for Trump, but the conservatives in this country.
A Bernie Sanders staffer was caught on undercover camera saying that Trump voters should be sent to re-education camps.
What are we going to do with those people that resist the change? Because that's a big deal.
Well, I'll tell you what. In Cuba, what do they do to reactionaries?
They shot them on the beach.
You know what it means? Well, for all the Republican voters and Homeland Security will take your children. You know that? And we'll put them into re-education camps.
They felt that this counter-revolution could best be guarded against by creating and establishing re-education centers in the Southwest. Where we would take all the people who needed to be re-educated into the new way of thinking and teach them how things were going to be. I ask, well, what is going to happen to those people that we can't re-educate, that are die-hard capitalists? And the reply was that they'd have to be eliminated. And when I pursued this further, they estimated that they would have to eliminate 25 million people in these re-education centers. And when I say eliminate, I mean kill. 25 million people.
So part of it is we have to break through our kind of private idea that...
You see, that's coming to us. You know what I mean? Except for we know their plan. We're not ignorant to Satan's devices, man. All right? We know what's plot. We know what's planned. All right? And that is to chip the population. They have something called the One World Government, the New World Order. That's his enterprise. All right? We're not ignorant to that. Ooh, slocky.
Kids belong to their parents, or kids belong to their families, and recognize that kids belong to whole communities. Once it's everybody's responsibility and not just the households, then we start making better investments. I have decided we really need camps for adults. And we need the kind of camps that you all run. I mean, really.
The bottom line is all of America needs programming because we've all been negatively influenced by Donald Trump.
And now, a rise of political extremism, white supremacy, domestic terrorism that we must confront and we will defeat.
Alex Jones here with some very, very good news. Our best-selling product, Vitamin Mineral.
Well, there you have it. Hope that was edifying. And with that, I'm going to say, Shalom.